Hi everyone. Someone said to me recently, do you still walk everywhere? Well, yeah, I do walk. I get out for a little bit, even if I don't feel like it. I think you've got to keep going, haven't you? You just got to keep on getting out there. If you don't use it, you lose it, kind of thing. It's nice here down by the canal in Tewkesbury, England. Yeah, it's a pretty good environment. Not too bad a day, not too hot, not too cold, perfect for walking. Now, I approach music a bit like that too. Some days I don't feel like it, but most days I get and do something. Recording, writing, playing guitar, playing piano, anything. Because if you don't use your fingers, they get stiff. You forget things, you forget lyrics, you forget chord progressions, you forget licks that you've done. You start to lose it if you don't use it. And that's basically what I'm trying to say, is that you have to keep on moving. A ship can't be steered if it's not moving. It'll just rot in the water. So you have to keep on moving forward. You may not know the way ahead. The way ahead is kind of uncertain, particularly these days with music and, many things really. But keep moving forward. Nothing will happen if you don't. If you just sit at home dreaming or thinking about it or watching TV, nothing will happen. I can guarantee that. Well, probably anyway. There's always a chance that something might come out of the blue, but it's not very likely. Somewhere along the line you will have had to have done something. Hey, what do you think of that boat then? Looks like it's been there a while, like a submarine. I guess it's seasonal. Take them out in the summer, leave them there in the winter. Gonna need a bit of maintenance, like the rest of us. So, what's the solution to this then? I think what it is that you have to get a balance in life. You can't expect music or anything to be your sole way of getting validation or fulfillment. It's only part of it, part of life. I remember touring. Touring takes you out of normal environment for a long period sometimes. The short bursts were great, but when it was 6 months, you do go a little bit crazy because it's not balanced. It's not a balanced lifestyle. That's why I get out walking. That's why I do photography. That's why I like spending time with friends and family, because that brings balance into my life. Have you noticed that many musicians aren't happy, right? I mean, yeah, there are some. I know a few that are happy, but many are not. Why is that? Maybe it's partly the creative bent. You're always striving for something. You're never satisfied, always thinking that you could do better, I'm a bit like that, I guess. But then, maybe it's also expectations. I saw a post on social media the other day, and it said, should I take up the guitar and be a rock star. I didn't get involved, but I thought, well, yeah, by all means, take up an instrument, take up the guitar, whatever, for your own enjoyment. But that doesn't make you a rock star. Big difference between playing an instrument, even well, and being a rock star. But anyway, are there any rock stars anymore? When was the last rock star? Is that a thing of the past? You know, musicians have very often swallowed a dream, a myth. You know, they think it's going to bring them fame and fortune or whatever it is that's going to turn an unhappy person into a happy person. But I'll tell you what, whatever you are, whether you succeed in your eyes, whatever success is, you know, perhaps you do get the money that you dreamed of, but if you're unhappy, you'll be unhappy. You'll just be unhappy with money. You know, none of that makes the difference. Maybe it'll give you a buzz for a while. Maybe you can learn to forget what you're like inside for a while. But basically what I'm saying is it doesn't matter what you, obviously there are situations you don't want to be in, right? But if you're unhappy, you'll be unhappy, whatever. It's what's inside. You've got to find a way to get peace. You've got to find a way to be fulfilled and content with who you are inside. And actually that'll make you a better person to be able to do the things that you want to do. Not looking to those things to bring you the fulfillment that you don't have inside already, you know. No, we're all guilty of it. We all fall into this trap. I'm just putting out some sort of philosophical thoughts there about it. Can you hear the bells of Tewkesbury Abbey? I wonder if those bell ringers are happy. They sound pretty happy to me. I realise this is my opinion. You may not agree with me, that's fine. If it doesn't help you, ditch it, that's fine too. I'm just putting it out there. This is my kind of philosophy of life. It works for me. Okay? Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you've liked coming on this little walk with me. See you again.